Arvid, have you decided what elective you're going to take this semester?
Yep, triangular matrix equations.
No, you're not. Arvid, the purpose of an elective is to delve into a new and totally unknown field.
Yeah?
So, what's that unknown field into which we've always wanted to delve?
What? Yeah. Wait a minute, Dennis. I don't think that's on the course list.
No, but home ec is.
What? Home ec? Why would we want to take that? It's for girls. Oh, right.
I'd just like to say that I think the Board of Education is being pretty darn reasonable. So let's stop all this gloomy Gus strike talk, huh? I mean, we don't have to have a raise, and I think we all can live with one little rollback. The important thing is we've got our health.
We better. Soon we won't have any health insurance, which is why we gotta strike.
Wait. I'm sorry, but as your elected union rep, before I go to the negotiating committee and say that this chapter wants to strike, I think that we should investigate some alternatives that are a little less disruptive.
Right. How about a sternly worded letter to the Times?
I was thinking more of a work slowdown. Let's say that we withhold all of our extracurricular activities. No more club supervision, no more tutoring. Dr. Samuels wants all this paperwork done, fine. We do it only during school hours.
Smarten up, Charlie. A work slowdown, we'll lose our jobs. We're going to be cashing in aluminum cans.
I think it's a great way of getting our ideas across. Let's do it, Charlie.
Wait, I got it. How about buttons that say unfair?
How about I take your face and move
No, Miss.
Darlene, let's get together this week and study for the advanced placement history test.
Well, I don't think that's really going to be necessary, Maria. I mean, we're going to review all the material we've covered in history class.
Yeah, I mean, we should be prepared just by listening to Mr. Moore.
Exactly.
Mr. Moore? Don't you want to get started?
Yes. Sorry, we've got a mountain of material to cover today.
Tell us about it. So, what's first?
First, how many people here drink milk with lunch at least twice a week? Show of hands, yeah.
This ought to be good. I can't wait to see how he ties it in with the Spanish-American War.
Okay, how many drink chocolate milk?
Mr. Moore, what does this have to do with history?
Nothing. This is a Student Nutrition Evaluation Report 629/R. So, how many of you eat the crackers that come with the soup?
Mr. Moore, we have that test next week to review for.
That's right. I'm sorry. I'd like to be able to help you, but the school board hasn't budged, so until that changes, we teachers are trying to complete all of our paperwork during school hours. So if I can finish this, maybe we'll have some time before the end of class.
Well, then we can get together after school for special tutoring.
That's a good idea.
No, we can no longer involve ourselves in extracurricular activities either.
But what about us? We have to do well on these tests. Our futures are on the line here.
Yeah, Mr. Moore.
Can't you bend the rules a little bit, Mr. Moore?
Yeah, just a little.
Well, I would like to, believe me, but I got to stand by my union.
Dennis, where's the rest of your lunch? Very funny. This stuff's for home ec class. The teacher won't go to the market because of the work slowdown, so guess who gets picked to go to the food barn? Why do you have to buy the giant sizes of everything?
Because, ounce for ounce, they're cheaper.
Fine. Then you explain to the class what we're doing with a 5-pound tub of chutney.
I had a coupon. And besides, look, it came with a free Flintstone glass. I would be a fool to pass this up.
This is a nightmare.
Oh, come on, Dennis. At least you're getting to meet girls, right?
Oh, yeah, right. When they're not too busy yelling at me for overbeating my egg whites.
That's because you set your mixer on the puree setting.
Shut up. Oh, and on top of everything else, for our homework, we gotta bake something.
Oh, and Dennis, next time, make sure they double bag you.
What is the difference?
That's the difference.
Things get ugly, Miss Mira. Management may have to fill in for the teachers. So you'll be teaching freshman English and metal shop.
Metal shop? You mean with welding and riveting and banging?
Wear the safety goggles, you'll be fine.
Dr. Samuels, why can't the janitor teach metal shop?
No, I've got him down for modern dance.
Why?
Well, that's what he wanted. Please, let's not mess with the janitors
Dr.
union.
Samuels,
What do you want?
I wanted to give you these.
Huh. Petitions from the faculty, huh? Well, here's what I think of your petitions, Comrade Moore.
Well, actually, those were your surveys and questionnaires.
What? You see what you made me do? I'm supposed to send these through the proper channels.
You just did.
Morning.
Morning, sir. Morning.
Mr. Moore, are you all caught up on your paperwork?
Yes, I am.
Are you sure you don't want our inseams or dental records?
No, thanks. But I would like you to settle down because I need to talk to all of you.
Oh, great. At least we have a couple days to review then. Yeah, maybe if we really hit the books, we'll be able to catch up.
So what are you going to teach us today, Mr. Moore?
Nothing.
What? Nothing. You said you finished all your paperwork.
Mr. Moore, come on. We have had enough of this strike stuff. We are here to learn.
Normally, I'd be ready to work with you, but the teachers' union took a vote last night, and until the school board is willing to return to the negotiating table, a work stoppage is in effect.
So does that mean you can't teach?
That's precisely what it means, yes.
Mr. Moore, this is unfair. You can't do this.
Yes, it is unfair. And yes, I can do it. So I'd suggest you find something constructive to do during the remainder of the period. Sorry.
Poached salmon with dill sauce. And you know what would be good with that? A nice lobster bisque. What do you think?
I think if I hear you say bisque or fondue or finely chopped nut meats one more time, I'm gonna use your tongue as a scouring pad.
You're just upset because you got a D on your gravy.
Hey, lay off my gravy. I told you those weren't lumps.
Oh, give it up, Dennis. There's no such thing as a gravy ball.
Oh, yeah.
Fellas, do you mind exchanging your recipes a little more quietly? Some people are trying to study.
Sorry.
Too bad some people aren't trying to teach.
Mr. Moore, don't you care about us at all?
Yes, I do. But when you believe in a cause, you sometimes have to make sacrifices.
Oh, great. So you're sacrificing us.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if you could see that this strike issue is larger than how it affects you personally.
You're the one who's gonna get more money.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, maybe. Perhaps even a living wage. That's so selfish of us.
Oh, just forget about it, Mr. Moore. I mean, we've got a test to study for. Maybe one of us should do your job.
Welcome to try. Might be interesting.
Okay, I'll teach. Everybody open your book to chapter 7, please. You too. Eric, you want to sit like a human being?
Wait a minute. Who said you could be the teacher?
Yeah, Dennis, who said you could teach?
Why shouldn't I be the teacher?
Well, for one thing, Dennis, it was my idea.
Yeah, but I got a higher grade point average than you do.
Well, now, let's not act like children. Let's decide this intelligently.
Fine.
Who wants Dennis to teach? And who wants me to teach? Well, fine. Does somebody else want to teach?
What's going on here? Rabble rousing again, Mr. Moore? Next, you'll have them singing Woody Guthrie songs.
Dr. Samuels, you have to do something. If we don't get a real teacher in here, we're gonna die on that test.
Yeah.
You've got one. I'm going to teach you. I may even teach a little teaching while I'm at it.
The blackboard is all yours.
Just stand back and eat my chalk dust. All right. What were they studying?
The Crittenden Compromise of 1860.
Okay. Let's talk about Christopher Columbus.
Dr. Samuels, that sounds a little basic. This is going to be an advanced history test.
Don't worry. You know, Mr. Moore isn't the only person who can make history interesting. For instance, how many of you know Christopher Columbus was a bum? What? Well, he borrowed money from a woman to build his boats. He didn't know where he was going. When he got there, he didn't know where he was. And when he got home, he lied about where he'd been.
Dorfman!
What do you want?
You want to sign this petition? I don't agree with the negotiating committee. This work stoppage, how can I put it diplomatically, sucks mud.
Well, sure, I'll sign. I couldn't agree with you more. This is great.
Charlie's a good man. It's just, he's never been in the service, if you catch my drift.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dorfman. If this petition works, we're gonna start a wildcat strike. Total walkout. Picket lines, baseball bats, slash tires, the works. Your name is gonna be on the hit list of every principal in New York City.
That's what I signed?
Yes, sir.
Oh, my God.
Wow, Arvid, where'd you get that cake?
I made it for home ec. I call it Arvid's Chocolate Raspberry Relativity Tort. What do you think?
It's fabulous.
Yeah, that is an incredible likeness of Einstein.
Really? Thanks. And it took me all night.
Oh, Dennis, where's your project?
Oh, I've got it. Beef rib tips bourguignon.
Wow. Well, how did you make that?
Oh, it's easy. Remove cover, pull tab.
Dennis, you'd better come up with something else, or Mrs. Rinkoff is going to make you wash dishes again.
She can't make me wash them if she can't find them.
What do you do with them? Oh, Dad! Oh!
That's it. It's over. We're finished. We don't have a prayer on the advanced placement history test. And it's not our fault. Why should we be the ones who get hurt by this stupid strike?
I'll tell you why. Because their union is so greedy.
Exactly.
Mr. Moore, why don't the teachers just take their paychecks and stop ruining our lives?
Yeah.
You know, it's not as simple as that.
You know, Mr. Moore, nobody forced you to take this job.
That's right.
With all the people out of work, you should be happy to even have a job.
Yeah. You know, I'm beginning to think that Alan was right all along about unions.
You mean it?
Yeah.
Would anyone like to hear my opinions on Roe versus Wade?
Okay, you want me to teach? I'll teach.
You're kidding. What will the union say about that?
Under these circumstances, I think it'll be okay. All right, I'd like each of you to remove one shoe.
Okay, Mr. Moore, but if this is for another survey, I can tell you right now, most of us have 2 feet.
I want you to look at the shoe, see if you can tell me how it is responsible for your well-being. Okay, 1794. Federal Society of Cordwainers is founded. Does anybody know what a cordwainer is?
A shoemaker.
Exactly. Now, in those days, at the beginning of the Industrial Revolution, entire industries were founded on child labor. Not just making shoes, but in coal mines, in textile mills, garment sweatshops. You could find 6-year-olds working for 10 cents a day. And often, 4-year-olds were used to clean and oil heavy machinery.
Well, how could anyone do that to a 4-year-old?
Yeah.
Simple. It's expedient. Small child fits very nicely into a large machine. But occasionally somebody loses a finger or a hand or even a life. But business is business. Business as usual. Now, in 1799, The cordwainers led the first strike in an attempt to change things. They were America's first labor union. And you know what they were arrested for?
What's that?
Criminal conspiracy to increase wages. Well, by the 20th century, things had changed considerably. At that point, management was using the militia or law enforcement to shoot striking workers, including children. So you see, if it weren't for this shoe and a lot of people who made very real sacrifices, most of you would probably be working in a sweatshop somewhere, minus a few fingers. And I hope you all do very well on your tests tomorrow.
What are we supposed to do with our shoes?
Maybe we can fit them in our mouths.
Okay, Mr. Moore. Maybe there were horror stories back then. But what does it have to do with the teacher strike today? I mean, it's not like you're trying to keep kids from being abused.
Yes, we are, in a way.
What kids?
Well, you and every kid in school. You deserve the best education that money can buy. Now, I know teachers who have been working for 10, 15 years. They're not making as much money as toll collectors in the Holland Tunnel. Now, what kind of people are going to be teaching you if things continue at that rate?
But you're a good teacher.
Thank you. But if I were to take a job in the real world, I could make a real living wage, maybe 2, 3 times what I make now. And I'll tell you, quite frankly, I don't know how much longer I can afford to remain a teacher.
Mr. Moore, was this petition for a wildcat strike your idea? Yes or no?
No.
Don't try to confuse the issue with your union rhetoric. You want to play rough? Fine. Class, welcome Mr. Grodnick. A bright, enthusiastic, hungry young scholar with a PhD in history who has agreed to replace Mr. Moore and help you in your hour of need.
You mean a scab?
It's business as usual, but not in my class.
Don't tell me whose class this is.
I think I can take it from here, Dr. Samuels. Now, class, I understand you were discussing the Crittenden Compromise of 1860.
I don't think this is gonna work.
Yeah, I just don't feel right about it. It's like crossing a mental picket line.
Right.
And I sure don't want to be taught by some guy who'd cross a real one.
Yeah.
I don't either. I only want to be taught by the best.
Would you wait outside for a moment, Mr. Grodnick?
Still gonna get paid, aren't I?
Yeah. What's the matter with you kids? What about the test tomorrow?
Well, I guess we probably won't do as well as we might have.
Yeah. Maybe we'll score on the 94th percentile instead of the 98th. And maybe that'll hurt us a little down the road. But Dr. Samuels, lots of people have had to make sacrifices much, much greater than that.
Yeah. I mean, we may not like it, but it is important. And I'm willing to live with it.
Me too.
Hey, I was only trying to help you. This is your fault, Mr. Moore. Mr. Grodnick, did you ever conduct an orchestra?
Very impressive.
Yeah. I guess by not teaching us anything, you actually taught us something.
That's right. Thanks. I'm glad.
I sure wish we could use it on that darn test tomorrow.
Mr. Moore, I still have one question.
Sure.
Can Dennis put his shoe back on now?
My cake! It's gone! How could a whole cake just disappear?
Not the whole cake, Arvid. Here's Einstein's hair. You see, I hate coconut. However, the rest was delicious.
You ate my project!
You deserved it. The only reason I even signed us up for a home ec class was to meet girls, but no, you had to get an A in baking and an A in sautéing, and you had to gloat when you julienned your beets. You deserved some humiliation.
Humiliation? You want me to show you humiliation?
You mean it, Charlie? They went back to the bargaining table?
Yeah, we got them by the throat. Way to go, man.
Yeah, I guess another day or so, and we can go back to being full-time zookeepers.
There. Fine.
A car? Nobody drives a car in New York.
Yeah, that explain all that traffic out there.
Why did you buy a car?
Because we're going to be checking out colleges every weekend.
And in order to do that, you need a car. And we bought a beauty. We bought a car!
You bought a car?
We're partners. It's a vintage Volkswagen Bug. 4 on the floor, tape deck, the works.
Does the color match your nail polish?
I bet it has a makeup mirror on the sun visor.
You're sharing this car, huh?
We've got it worked out perfectly just for the two of us.
You're certain of this?
Well, yes. Why?
Well, I just want to be certain you know what you're getting yourselves into.
I think he has a childhood memory that may apply.
It so happens that Eddie Stoner and I did buy 49 Merc together when I was in high school, and it was terrific for 1 week.
1 week.
Yeah. It seemed that on the same night, we both had a big date. Now, he had to have the car, I had to have the car. So words were exchanged and fists flew. He lost a tooth and I split a lip, and we both remained virgins.
Thanks for the warning, Mr. Moore, but we're not two farm boys from Weezer, Idaho.
That's right. We've got this covered from every angle. We've researched prices, maintenance records, insurance rates, parking.
Not only that, but the car we bought is special.
How so?
The engine is in the back.
Dr. Samuels, you wanted to see me?
Yes, I did. How are you?
Fine. And you?
I'm gonna be just fine. I'm gonna be just great. No problem. Please.
So, what did you want to talk to me about?
You're the only person on the faculty I feel with the human understanding to help me get through this. Last night, Mrs. Samuels and I had words. She had the last two. Get out.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sure it's temporary. It'll blow right over. You know, I don't want to be late for class.
The woman and I have had the same argument for months.
Well, why don't you and I talk about this further at lunch?
You're a modern guy. Do you understand the feminist movement?
Yeah. It's about fulfillment, careers, independence. I mean, you have to be sensitive to that.
I am. I told her to get off her fanny and get a job.
I don't think that's what they have in mind.
Wait! You didn't ask me where I was staying. I hope this isn't inconvenient.
Oh, come on in. Here, I'll get that for you. I got it.
So this is my new home?
For one night. Can I catch a glass of wine?
No, thank you. Alcohol's a depressant. I'm already there.
Well, that's something that happens in most marriages, you know. They're just minor setbacks.
What do you know? You've only been married once. This is my third. What is it about guys like us and women, Mr. Moore?
Guys like us?
We're losers. They chew us up and they spit us out. I read this. Hated it. So obvious the brother-in-law killed her, isn't it?
Well, it is now.
Listen, I don't want to be any trouble. I'll just sack out right here on this couch, huh?
Fine, I'm gonna get the hay myself.
Ah! Oh, boy. Back pain. Yeah. Oh, acts up in times of stress. But hey, don't worry about my back. It'll be all right here. Where are you going to sleep?
In my bed.
Ah, nice, nice. So I get the couch and you get the bed.
Right.
How's your back?
Well, so much for Sarah Lawrence College.
Can't believe we never even made it across the Triborough Bridge.
I never wanted to buy that car.
You did too, and you know it.
That's not true. I wanted the red one.
The red one was a $50,000 Ferrari.
Well, at least it wouldn't throw up its transmission.
Don't worry about it. It can be fixed.
Good. I was hoping you'd say that.
I'll need about $200.
What for?
The mechanic.
Mechanic? You said you could fix the car, remember?
I said I could fix it up, remember? New seat covers, my baby shoes hanging from the mirror, a cute little sign in the back that says no bozos.
Sarah, I don't have any more money to put in this car.
Oh, sure. Tell me about it.
What am I, Gloria Vanderbilt? What about you?
I have $1.60.
Great. That won't buy air for the tires.
Didn't see you girls drive up this morning. What happened? You stripped the gears already?
The car is fine. We just didn't feel like driving it to school.
Yeah, so people like you don't sit on it.
Sit on it? I wouldn't sit in it.
You couldn't sit in it.
You're just jealous because you don't have a car.
Not yet, but when we do get a set of wheels, we're not gonna buy an old piece of junk like two gullible little schoolgirls.
Yeah.
That's it. It's a matter of honor. We have to get it fixed.
Forget about fixing it. Let's just dump it.
We can't dump it until it's fixed.
Don't you think I know that? God, I hate owning a car.
Yeah, I know. All we do is argue.
Mr. Moore's right. This is destroying our friendship.
Well, I'd be a lot friendlier if it was at least running.
I've got it. Timeshares.
Timeshares?
We raise the money to fix it by selling timeshares in the car to everyone in the class.
Timeshares?
You know, it's like a vacation house in the Hamptons. You pay X amount of dollars, you get to use it X amount of days.
If we sell all our X's, we can't drive it.
We can't drive it now.
By that time, of course, he'd been exposed as a liar.
Mr. Moore, may I ask you a question about the assignment?
Sure.
Who is Richard Rickson?
Late date last night, Mr. Moore?
With your new roommate?
Mr. Moore, I know the rest of the class joins me in wishing you and Dr. Samuels every happiness.
Okay, let's talk about this for a minute. Dr. Samuels is a man in trouble. He's a man in pain. He's a man who snores. I'm simply exercising a little compassion, which I'm sure any of you would do. And right now, I think we should respect his sense of privacy. I doubt that Dr. Samuels would appreciate our discussing his problems.
Excuse me, Mr. Moore. I won't take up a lot of your time. I just wanted to talk to my best and brightest kids. Mrs. Samuels and I may have had a parting of the ways. Now, I know this is not easy for you to hear, but these things happen to adults. The good news is I'm okay. I'm still your academic coach and your principal. So concentrate on your studies and please try not to worry too much about me.
I don't know. I'm pretty shook.
This is your personal life, Dr. Samuels. Why are you sharing it with us?
Because you are special, because you're all compassionate and you care.
So what happened? You caught her in a sack with another principal or what?
I want him retested. He doesn't belong here.
Thank you, sir.
Charlie. I ordered a bed delivered.
Bed?
Well, it's just a small cot. Pay the man, it's COD. And don't worry about dinner tonight, okay? I got it covered. Like Spanish rice?
Hey, Harold, you seen this morning's time?
Good morning, Charlie.
Harold.
What a great night. I feel like a new person. Who would have ever known I could get by on just an hour's sleep?
Not me.
You know what's weird? I almost got her out of my mind.
Not me. You know, I can't stop thinking about her. Like now. I mean, I see her waking up alone, teary-eyed. I mean, she misses you, Harold. Your sound, your smell, your body.
Do you really think so? No, it's over. I heard it in her voice. I saw it in her eyes. Believe me, we are finished.
Don't say that.
Charlie, you're just going to have to face it. The marriage is over.
Please don't say that.
I think it's time for me to start playing the field again, huh?
Harold, playing the field is not what it used to be.
Oh, don't give me that. I see you come to school in the morning with that glow. I want that glow. Oh, it's a new diet. Worked for Rocky. I'm coming back, Charlie. All the way back.
So for only $30, you become part owner of the automobile, and the automobile is at your disposal for one full day a week.
Is Monday available?
Monday, Jawar Halal. Done. Who's next?
Well, oh, come on, you got to Jawar Halal because, well, he's vulnerable. He's new, he's from India, he's dazzled by American materialism. In my world, the world of pure intellect, who needs a car?
Arvid, picture this. It's Saturday night. By some miracle, you've got a date with Lori. Now, without a car, you're standing in a crowded subway, face to face with Bernard Getz. With a car, you're 50 miles up the Hudson River. You're parked. You and she are all alone, and you're out of gas.
I'm in. Saturday night?
You got it, Arvid.
Nice fold, Arvid.
Stuff it, Alan. Simone?
Oh, what could I possibly want with a car? All my free time is taken up with charity work.
That's right. Always thinking about yourself. You know those senior citizens you take to Central Park every Tuesday? Did you ever think about them? You think they might like to take a trip up to the Adirondacks? Or see the leaves change colors in the Poconos? Or maybe go up to Connecticut and feel the snow on their weather-beaten faces just once before.
been so selfish. I'll take a share.
Great. Janice.
A car? My mother won't even let me have a training bra.
So you'll grow into it. Yeah.
What's the matter with you people? Can't you see? If they're trying to raise money, there must be something wrong with the car. Well, is there something?
You're right, Alan. Sarah, there is something wrong with it. It's not perfect, and that's why it's in the shop. Sarah, no. I want to tell the truth. The car is a classic, and we're raising the money to restore it to its original condition. And then we can sell it for 2 or 3 times what it's worth at the moment.
2 or 3 times? $30?
You in?
All right.
Sold. 5 shares, we're getting close.
All right. Okay, today Martha Mitchell as a visionary. After you fellows take your seats.
Excuse me, Charlie. Dr. Samuels wants you to add fabric softener to the shopping list.
Can he buy his own damn fabric softener? Sorry.
It's all right.
Sorry. Okay. The Attorney General John Mitchell. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Sorry.
B-O-U-N-C-E.
Bounce. Sorry. Smell. Hey, good news.
Extra large, medium charge. Dinner's on me tonight, pal. Extra anchovies.
Your wife called. She's coming over.
She is?
Yeah. I think she wants you back.
Sure she does. Now that I'm on the rebound and available.
You're not available! Look, Harold. Sorry, but deep down in my heart, I know how much you want to get back together with her.
What, and give up what we have here?
What do we have here? We have 2 adult males, one of whom hates anchovies.
Well, there's no problem. They're removable.
Harold, that's not the problem. Look, I don't know how to tell you this, but the magic is gone.
You're starting to sound like Lois.
See? You can't stop thinking about her. Now, you miss her, right?
Sure I miss her. But I would rather spend the next 10 years living in this apartment with you than admit it to her. Is that?
Probably.
I'm not ready.
Just a minute.
How do I look?
You look fine, Harold.
I need a
Come
shower.
on, open the door. Act your age, okay?
Lois, if you're here to beg me to come back, let me just say, I'm fine here. I'm happy. I'm picking up the pieces.
Really? Well, here are a few pieces you forgot to pick up. Come and get the rest of your stuff by Saturday, or I'm sending it to the Goodwill.
Goodwill? You wouldn't know the meaning of the word. You think I'm miserable here? I'm not. I'm happy. Charlie, tell her.
He's miserable.
I get respect here, friendship. Charlie and I are doing some serious male bonding.
It's not that serious.
Yes, it is.
I'll let the 2 of you work that out by yourselves. I'm leaving.
Now, hold it. Nobody leaves here without her husband. Okay, so we have no financial problems. We're still both attracted to one another physically. Let's talk about common interests. Any?
Folk dancing.
Travel.
Meet by mail.
You have pen pals all over the country.
He belongs to the Steak of the Month Club.
Well, nevertheless, I see a terrific marriage here. What is the problem?
The problem is him. Oh, I'm leaving.
Say, Lois, don't go.
Oh, let her go.
Say it!
Lois, don't go!
Lois, is the fact that Harold wants you to get a job, does that have anything to do with this?
That has everything to do with this. Look, I've had a job for the last 18 years, raising our kids.
Harold?
They're in college. They're gone. Moved on to greener pastures. She's still grazing.
I want to graze. I need a rest.
She has a brilliant mind. It's going to atrophy.
Oh, look, I'll get a job. I just need some time to figure out what it is I want to do. Raising kids takes a lot out of a person.
She has a good point, Harold.
Of course she has a good point. She has a brilliant mind.
Well, you keep saying that to me.
Well, I mean it. That's what I love about her. I have a PhD in attendance, not communication. It's what I love about you, honey. Your mind, your intellect. Really missed you, you know?
Well, it sure is nice to hear you say that. Goobs. Okay. I guess we're communicating now, huh?
Isn't it great? Don't let me interrupt. I'm going to slip out. I'll go to a movie or something.
No. We'll go. We'll work the rest of this out at home, okay? Come on, Harold, let's go.
What about my stuff, my clothes?
I'll pack it up. I'll bring it to school.
Thank you. Nice meeting you.
Okay, nice meeting you.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow, Doctor. What happened?
Everything's okay. I just wanted to say something.
Oh, sure.
This past week, you and I have been very close. As close as only two lonely men can be. Well, you know more about me personally than any person on the faculty, and I don't want you to take advantage of that. You understand?
Dr. Samuels.
No. That's not what I wanted to say. I know why the kids like you. You make it easy to say things that are hard. You're there for people, and I appreciate that.
Well, I'm just glad that when this one-time-only situation came up, I was able to bend my really rigid rules and help you out. Just this once.
Thank you.
Sure. You're welcome.
Oh, one other thing.
What?
Do you mind if I take that pizza home with me?
Oh, be my guest. A figure of speech. Just a figure of speech. Ciao. Bye-bye.
All right, let me get this straight. You're selling us a $300 car, and you're just gonna give us a $210 rebate?
Yeah.
What about the other 90 bucks?
You owe us $90.
Why the sweet deal?
We just decided we really don't want to own a car. Yeah, Eric. You know how girls are.
I don't trust them. Watch this. Girls, tell you what I'm gonna do. You give us the rebate up front,
Minus the $90.
and then we'll buy the car.
Deal. Here's the money.
Oh, hey.
Here's the title, the registration, the car keys, your timeshare partner schedule, and the bill from Slatnick's Garage.
What bill?
Transmission, $210. See ya.
Yeah. Oh, what timeshare?
So it is difficult to imagine the shock felt by the British public when King Edward VIII announced his abdication to marry the love of his life, Wallis Simpson.
I've always thought that was the most romantic event in history. A king giving up his throne for a woman.
I wouldn't give a woman my seat on the subway.
Of course you wouldn't. Where would you sleep at night?
Actually, marrying for love is relatively trendy. Until this century, marriage was primarily an economic institution. Parents arranged marriages. Often there was a dowry.
And even in India, the bride might come with a water buffalo, a chicken, and a couple of jackasses.
You just described my sister-in-law's family.
Mr. Moore, are you trying to say that our socio-economic system evolved from the fact that our forefathers didn't believe in foreplay with our foremothers?
I'm saying that their concept of romantic love might have been a little different from ours.
You know, that's right. I asked my grandma if she loved Grandpa, and she said there wasn't a word in her language for love. But there were 9 words for headache.
Thank you, Arvin.
I'd rather die than not have love in my life. As far as I'm concerned, it's the only reason to marry.
Not in India, Simone. Before I came here, a marriage was arranged for me.
Well, it does solve one problem. You might meet somebody nice, with no fuss, no muss, and, well, let's face it, no rejection.
And at least you don't have to go through the hassle of trying to meet new people. Interesting people, right? People we can relate to. Who has time? Who knows where and who knows which people to meet?
Well, but now I'm stuck, sir.
Look, I know that you're not the world's most social group, but you're not living in a vacuum. There are other people out there, and I'm sure that some of them would like to meet people like you.
Well, tell me about it. One of them came to my door a few weeks ago. She needed a nerd for a scavenger hunt.
Mr. Moore, we have agendas. We can't afford to spend our time trying to meet new people. Although I did get lucky once with Martha Cabot.
You call that lucky?
Now, speaking of Martha Cabot, what about all the people that you meet at your academic competitions? I mean, the science fairs, debates you're in.
Well, we just compete. And then we get on the bus, or they get on the bus, and it's over.
Right. By the time our palms stop sweating, they're gone.
Did it ever occur to you that maybe their palms are sweating too? I mean, this is a marriage made in heaven. Put your sweaty little palms together. Make contact. Look, you have minds. Use them. You have a computer. Use it.
Hang on. You're suggesting a computerized dating service for us?
I love it. Data doofus.
Not a dating service. Merely a means of getting acquainted with other students like yourselves from different high schools. It's just a suggestion. You don't have to do it. Of course, I don't have to be sympathetic to your problem if you're not doing anything to solve.
Well, he's trying to do something. Yo, guys. I see it. This is doable.
Well, come on, find something.
Could we do it on your own time, please?
So you're the new teachers union rep, huh? Let me tell you the way we do things around here, Mr. Moore. The teachers complain to their chapter leader. Too much this, not enough that. Espresso?
No, thank you.
Cappuccino? No. Cafe au lait?
No, merci.
Anyway, the chapter leader comes and tells me, too much this, not enough that. I say, you're absolutely right. I'll look into it.
Great. Now, what we need now is a new coffee maker for the teacher's lounge.
I'll look into it.
No. I'm just asking you to okay a requisition for a new coffee maker.
What's wrong with the old one?
There is no old one. It's dead.
Okay, you got it.
Thank you. So how long does that take?
Usually takes 6 to 8 weeks.
To get a new coffee maker?
No, before they start processing the request.
What about this one? I mean, you got it in a week.
Unfortunately, this was procured with an administrative request, as opposed to yours, which was a faculty request.
How long does a faculty request take?
Don't hold your breath.
Well, that's outrageous.
You're absolutely right. I'll look into it.
Okay, Arvid, we got your likes and dislikes down. Now, in 10 words or less, who are you?
Well, I'm lonely, but outgoing. Shy, yet assertive. Needy, and giving. Unusual looking.
Good.
Though some say I'm handsome.
Arvid, this isn't gonna fly. Let's go with, classy Manhattan intellectual.
Yeah.
Eclectic interests. Discreet, maybe sensual. A little witty. And,
desperate.
Yeah. Girls! Free computer time. Who wants to be the first one to line up for my computer?
No thanks, not interested, Dennis. Whatever life holds in store for me is not on your floppy disk.
Suit yourself. Darlene?
Forget it, Dennis. I don't believe in advertising for love.
I do. Here.
Sarah?
May as well cover all bases.
Okay. Oh, Jawaharlal, I realize you're on the Indian layaway plan. But, are you interested?
Why not? Besides, how can you cheat on a 5-year-old?
Simone.
No, thanks, Dennis. I'm really not good at blind dates.
Come on, Simone. This program is the cutting edge of male-female compatibility. I can guarantee you I'll find you a soulmate.
Hey, if you don't mind, she's already met her soulmate. It's just a question of when it sinks in, right?
Okay, Dennis, what do you need to know?
You need to start with your favorite things. That would be raindrops on roses or whiskers on kittens.
I don't believe this. You won't go out on a date with me, but you're gonna go out with some guy from Bronx Science who eats bananas with his mouth open?
All I'm doing is answering a few questions. What's the big deal?
Okay, that's enough of the all-new dating game. Back to the good old game of dates. I like to call it history.
Okay, Dennis, you've had enough time. Give me a name.
Come on, Arvid. You can't rush this kind of thing. Romances aren't made overnight.
Dennis, a guy from Brooklyn Tech called me. He sounds nice. I may even try going out with him. Thanks.
Well, how come she found someone so quickly?
I'm more selective with you, Arvid. I mean, come on. There's not that many girls out there who like Mr. Rogers.
Dennis, I apologize. I was certain this computer thing was just another one of your fiascos. But Muffy Van Pendleton wants to meet me.
Him too. How come everybody's getting fixed up except for me?
Hey, come on, Arvid. I got you a date, remember? Right here. 5'9", blonde, math freak, astronomy buff, chess player, but no, wasn't good enough for you.
It was a guy!
It doesn't mean he was a bad person. Oh. Arvid. Oh, Simone. I have found you the perfect match. Look at this. Loves Yates, Mahler, Genet, huh? Not only that, you also both love mung beans and hate biker movies. Could it be more perfect?
Dennis, I changed my mind. I don't think I want to go through with this. I just can't get used to the idea of going out with a stranger.
Simone, deep down, we're all strangers, n'est-ce pas?
I'd like to keep it that way.
Simone, I'm gonna have to ask you to reconsider that.
No, Dennis, that's my final decision.
Well, let me put it this way.
Excuse me, but judging by your description, you must be Dennis Blunden.
That's right.
The name's Oswald Bletch. I'm here to meet Simone Foster.
You what?
Is this timing perfect? This lovely creature right here happens to be Simone.
Whoa. Simone, hubba.
Well, now that you two have met, I suggest you get better acquainted. I have to go now.
Dennis!
I have to go. Hi, Eric.
I'm sure you two will be very happy together.
Hey, listen, my mom is waiting in the car, so I'll just run down the vital stats for you. 4.0 average at Bronx Science, astronomy club, debate, poetry club, starter on the ping pong team. 2 years, Arthur Murray, ballroom and disco. Princeton, Yale, and Harvard all want me. How about you?
It was nice meeting you. I hope we meet again someday.
So, how's tonight?
I don't think so.
Hey, Simone, look at this. 2 tickets to the Kabuki Theater.
I don't know.
Simone, these people came all the way from Japan.
I'm having dinner with my family.
Great! I'd love to meet them. I'll sell the Kabuki tickets. Family is important. They should get to know me.
They're very shy. You'd be uncomfortable.
Not to worry, they'll love me.
It's a bad time. We're having family problems.
Lean on me.
We're Dutch. We don't lean.
Okay, Saturday night.
I can't. I'm having surgery.
On Saturday night?
Well, early, but not that early.
Simone, look at me. You're not comfortable with lying, are you?
No.
No. So why lie? You're not doing anything Saturday night, and you're not doing anything tonight.
No, not really.
Great, I'll pick you up at 7. Simone, one of my greatest qualities is that I'm tenacious. Did you see the movie Alien?
Yes.
Remember the creature that stuck to the guy's face and wouldn't get off? Like this?
Yes?
That's me. Right there. All the time. In your face.
I thought I knew you from somewhere.
So I'll see you tonight.
Oswald! Oh.
Morning. Hi, guys. Hey, made contact with Muffy last night. She sounds like a real snob. I think we're gonna hit it off.
So, how's things with Oswald Belch?
That's Fletch, and don't ask.
Oh, you didn't actually go out with the Poindexter, did you?
I don't want to talk about it.
Simone, you went out with him?
I didn't mean to.
Oh, what do you mean you didn't mean to? How do you accidentally go out on a date?
I can't describe him. He showed up at my house with these Kabuki tickets, and he wouldn't leave. I tried to get rid of him. My parents liked him, and next thing you know, we were at the Kabuki. He spent half the night under his chair looking for nasal spray. Afterwards, he dragged me to a coffee shop for a veggie burger, and the next thing you knew, we were at the all-night Lena Wertmiller Film Festival.
Yeah, and that's when you realized that the two of you were perfectly matched, am I right?
Wrong. I hated every minute of it. I couldn't wait to get rid of him.
So, how'd you do it?
I didn't. I agreed to go out with him again tonight. It's the only way he'd leave.
I don't believe this. All this time you've been turning me down, now 2 nights in a row you're gonna go out with the lead singer of the Chipmunks?
Eric, I can say no to you. I like you.
Is that supposed to make some kind of sense?
You're strong. You're confident. You can take rejection. But this Oswald, he's a manipulative, devious, annoying creep. He's so pathetic, I feel sorry for him. I guess I just want to let him down easy.
Simone, this is sick. Guys like him you don't let down, you push off.
Look, there are some people who are a little more sensitive about other people's feelings than you are.
Yeah, that's right. You know.
But what about her feelings?
Oh, what about my feelings, huh? Excuse me. I guess I should have anticipated this. Just naive, I guess. My suggestion to have you meet other IHP kids via computer seems to have degenerated into Blundin's dating service. And it's not working. Am I right so far?
Oh, no, Mr. Moore, it's working out great. Simone won't go out on a date with me, but she's gonna date some guy she hates.
I am not dating him.
You're going out with him tonight?
No, I'm not.
You just said you were.
I know, but I've got it all planned. I'm gonna hide at Maria's tonight.
You are?
Okay?
Fine.
That's not gonna work.
Sure it'll work. That is a very, very bright idea, Simone.
Excuse me again. Simone, what's the matter with telling this guy that you're not interested?
Simone, you're going about this the coward's way.
I know what I'm doing. As long as I avoid Oswald, I'll be okay.
Hello, you goddess of love. Hi, girls.
Oswald, what are you doing here?
I just couldn't wait till this evening to see you. Besides, this way we can make the African insect exhibit before it closes at 5.
We've got a lot of homework.
Homework, Oswald.
Homework? Homework's no problem. I'll help you do it over root beer and cheese doodles.
Well, what's the worst that could happen? Their kids could have his voice and his looks.
Dr. Sam.
If this is about the teacher's lounge, believe me, I have a lot more important things on my mind at the moment.
I'm sure you do, sir, and I know your faculty does too. So we can just drop those as conversational topics. Let's talk about a simple yet symbolic gesture that only you could make. Just slicing right through that bureaucratic red tape to get us that coffee maker for the teacher's lounge. Your way of saying to your faculty members, hey, I care.
Hey, I don't care.
Mr. Moore? If a girl told you she loved you on Thursday, but that she fell out of love with you on Friday, would you believe her?
Is this about you and Oswald?
Yeah, I can't stand him, but I don't want to hurt his feelings. Know what I mean?
Yeah. Sometimes it's hard to give someone an honest no for an answer. Believe me, I have received my fair share of fake phone numbers in my time.
I've given him every signal girls give guys to let him know I'm not interested, but he just doesn't get it.
Well, I understand that. I mean, one thing I've learned from my gifted students is they don't always get the message.
I get it. No more Miss Nice Guy. I've got to be brutally frank and just tell him I don't want to see him anymore, and I'm going to do it tonight.
Good.
At dinner.
Good.
After the ballet.
Okay, Alan. I'll agree with you. Aaron Burr had a right to be annoyed with Alexander Hamilton. Not enough to waste him in a duel.
Excuse me.
Don't you have a school of your own to go to?
Well, I'm working on a transfer here to Fillmore, and I'm here to drop off my grades.
Oh, no!
Yeah. It'll be great being in class with you guys. And let me tell you something, you could use the competition.
We could use some bug spray.
And I brought a little something for my heartmate. It's a picture of me for your locker.
Oswald, there's something I need to tell you.
Simone, don't you and Oswald want to step out in the hall?
Oh. No! Oswald, it's over.
What's over?
I fell in love with you.
Of course you did.
But then I fell out of love with you. I want you to know I'll never forget you. Goodbye.
You won't forget me. I'll be sitting right next to you in class.
Oh. I haven't been fair to you. See, the truth is, and I don't want this to sound harsh, but I don't like you. I never liked you. I seem to have a problem saying no. It's the only reason I went out with you. When I told you I loved you once, it was a lie just to get rid of you. Now, I want this to be perfectly clear. It's not because of another guy or anything else. I just don't like you.
Maybe we should seek counseling.
Oswald, didn't you hear what I said? It's over.
You realize, of course, this could affect my decision to attend school here.
Oswald, it's a tough break, but I sense you're a real fighter deep down. I know you'll probably find someone else.
I'll get over it.
Sure.
I have superior recuperative powers.
Oh, I'm sure you do.
I'll tell you something else. This computer dating is a crock anyway. Dennis, I want my $10 back.
Look, Ozzy, I got you the date. I don't guarantee results.
I want it back.
In your dreams.
Did you see the movie Alien? Remember the creature that stuck to the guy's face and wouldn't get off? Like this? That's me, right there, all the time. Simone, I'm out of your face. And I'm into his.
Wow, what a nerd.
Dennis, you sold me to him for $10?
Personally, Simone, I thought you were worth a lot more. But the market's a little soft right now.
Dennis, that is not the point, and you know it. Now, my suggestion was simply an attempt to expand everybody's social horizons, not to establish a profit-making enterprise. And I'm sorry that it turned out this way.
No, wait a second, Mr. Moore. Wasn't all bad.
Yeah, some of us met some pretty nice people.
Mm-hmm. And just think, Muffy Van Pendleton paid money to meet me. I'm thrilled.
Sorry, Alan. Muffy stopped payment on her check.
I tell you, this machine makes a great cup of coffee every time.
No, thanks. Time to talk about the teachers' union. I have here a list of items we'll be discussing at our next meeting. I thought I'd give you the chance to preview the agenda. Class sizes. Teacher schedules. New coffee maker. Unnecessary faculty meetings. New coffee maker. Administrator rating system. What? Oh, we're going to start rating the administrators, including you.
You gotta be kidding.
No. Where was it? Docking of paychecks. New coffee maker. Lunch hour duty.
All right. You win. Take it.
Thank you very much. Incidentally, if you could order about a dozen more of these little cups. Today, we begin our discussion of those fabulous 50s.
Fabulous? I heard it was the most boring decade in history.
Well, that's why we're going to talk about it, Dennis. Was it boring if you were involved in the beginning of the struggle for civil rights? If you were part of the Korean peace talks? Was it boring if you lost your job because of Senator McCarthy's witch hunt?
Was it boring when Pat Boone sang Tutti Frutti?
Yes. I'll give you that.
Excuse me, Mr. Moore?
Yes, do come in.
Thank you. I just want to take a moment to congratulate you on completing your training program and to give you your certificates. You are now officially peer counselors. Now remember, a peer counselor is not a psychologist. You talk with the other kids about the things that are bothering them, and either you try to help them work things out, or you refer them to someone who can. Now, of course, if somebody is in physical jeopardy or could cause harm to another or really has a serious problem, I want you please to come to either Mr. Moore or to me. Otherwise, anything that you hear is strictly confidential.
May I add a small note?
Oh, please.
I think it's a great idea. But I just want to say I don't think you should go out there expecting to save everyone. I mean, it's not that easy. There are serious problems, and simply because you've had a couple of weekends of training doesn't mean you're equipped to handle those kinds of problems.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. I'm not ready for this. Oh, I think I'm having an anxiety attack.
Arvid, take some deep breaths. Remember, Arvid, that we all have the same fears and apprehensions. Arvid, these people are our own age. They're not judging us. They just want somebody to listen to them.
I think you're right, Sarah. Hey, thanks a lot. I feel a little better.
Sarah, you're good. Well, I guess I have the gift.
Okay, I've got looks, I've got a body, but there's got to be more, you know?
Really? Yeah, more.
Sometimes I just refuse to go out. I spend the whole weekend lying around in my nightie, reading and eating popsicles. Can you imagine? I feel so inadequate. I know. I think it's because of my parents. I know. They're so critical. Yeah, I know. What's wrong with me? Nothing. It's your parents.
Hi, TJ. My name is Sarah. Who gives a flying fat burger? What's your name? Miss Bernadette Do-Gooder sent me here to take a rap for a bad attitude. I did the crime, so I'm doing my time. For rich girls like you who play the I'm white game, give me a major pain and my black is beautiful butt. Hey, lighten up. I don't play that game. Oh, yeah, Miss Wannabe? That's why you're sitting here trying to get an A on your assignment to out Mother Teresa. Look, TJ, I think we got off on the wrong foot here. You did. I didn't. I know what we're here for. I'm what is called extra credit. I'm a rung on your ladder to graduation, college, and house in the burbs. So get real, Camille. You kids get special classes, special books, special trips. You walk around this school like Samuel's pet poodles. Okay, we get some privileges, but I'm not gonna feel guilty about that because I work hard. I've had some rough times too, okay? So what? You take the lemons and you throw them at people. Me, I take the lemons and I try to make lemonade. Nice. I saw it on Peanuts. TJ. I'm sorry. Look, why don't we call it a tie and start over, okay? You ain't getting it, Gidget. I ain't no one's special project, free ride, or lost dog. I'm me, see? That's what TJ's about. Session over and out. I'm here if you need me.
I know you'll like this collection. It's new literature, the 50s.
Excuse me.
It's
See you at 4, Eric.
Yeah, see you.
all the poets, you know, Ginsberg, Ferlinghetti, Corso.
4:20.
And
I'll be there.
playwrights like John Osborne and Leroy Jones. Plus,
Hi, Eric. 4:40, don't forget.
and I won't. Jerry Southern. What's happening, Eric?
Oh, it's peer counseling, Mr. Moore. Yeah, I never realized there are so many needy girls out there.
Eric, are you sure you still want to go out with me Saturday night? Maybe you'll be too busy helping the needy.
Simone, I'm like a doctor. I'm doing very important work here.
Someone should phone the Nobel Prize Committee.
I feel foolish taking up your time with my complaining.
Oh, complain. Complain.
It's just that I'm so lonely, you know?
Yeah. No. You?
I go out with football players, basketball players, guys of every athletic inclination, but I still feel so alone. No one understands me. But you, Arvid. Funny, isn't it?
Hilarious.
My mom says I'm a slob. She says my room looks like a garbage dump. I tried to convince her it was performance art, but she wouldn't go for it.
Well, Jeff, you are a slob. But you've come to the right person. I myself will sometimes go 4 to 5 weeks between room overhauls.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
How?
Well, it's easy. You gotta be able to sense out the situation. You gotta be able to find that moment when your parents are just about ready to kick you out of the house.
And then you clean up?
No. Then you buy your mother a gift. Now, it doesn't matter what the gift is, just as long as you be sure to include a note that says, I love you, Mom. You do that, and I guarantee you an extra 2 weeks of underwear hanging on your lamp.
Dude, you're my hero.
Well, we got a lot of time left. Hungry?
Yeah.
Let's get out of here.
Hi, TJ. Glad to see you. Welcome, TJ. I'm here to help. Hey, TJ. What it is?
Same song, second verse. Miss Mira's got this thing about my attitude. Wants me to turn into Miss Peppy Pants like you.
You know, TJ, I bet we got a lot more in common than you think.
Like what? Besides, we're both breathing.
Well, I like movies.
Too long. I watch TV.
I love a nice, juicy hamburger.
Hot dog's better.
A summer day.
Too hot. Spring.
Magic Johnson.
Michael Jordan.
Alice Walker.
Langston Hughes.
Janet Jackson.
Latoya.
Wait a minute, I heard something. Huh? I heard you say Langston Hughes. He's a poet. You read poetry.
So what? Just because I'm in the bonehead class doesn't mean I don't read or write.
You write poetry, too?
I didn't say that.
You didn't deny it. Come on, TJ, read me something of yours.
You don't read it, baby. You rap it.
So rap it.
You really want to hear this?
Yeah.
Okay. Girl in the street, no cold and no heat. A crazy outlook, a torn up book, but she can't compete. Girl on fire with her desire. See stars there and bars there, she'll go much higher. That's enough.
TJ, what are you stopping for?
What are you pretending you're interested for?
I am interested. You have something to say.
No one cares what I have to say.
How do you know that?
Because of where they put me. In the sit down and shut up class.
Remedial?
It's cool. They don't bother me, and I don't bother them.
Are you sure you like it that way? Well, do you?
I gotta go.
Sarah, I can't show you TJ's file. That would be a definite invasion of privacy, which would be a violation of District Code number 427.
I just have a feeling that there's more to TJ than an encyclopedia of insults.
Well, of course there is. I mean, she was an honor student all the way through the 6th grade. She made straight A's, and then all of a sudden, her grades just started dropping. And now it looks like all she's passing is homeroom and phys ed.
What happened?
Sarah, that's confidential. I cannot tell you.
Wait a minute. That's it? A former honor student has practically dropped out of school and nobody cares?
We care, Sarah. But sometimes a student gets lost in the system because not enough time or teachers or resources. That's why what your class is doing is so important. I mean, maybe, just maybe, you can really help this girl. Yes.
Mr. Moore, I need your help. Or TJ does. You see, she's stuck in a class where she doesn't belong. In a life where she doesn't belong. I found out that she used to get straight A's. Then, suddenly she's in remedial. I want her to know that there's a way to get back. You know, I think that she should be around people who like to read and learn and discuss things. You know, people who have ideals, people who have dreams.
Mm-hmm. Like the IHP.
That's it. She needs to sit in on our class. That'll help her. That'll really inspire her. That'll turn her whole life around. Mr. Moore, if anybody can do it, you can. What a great idea.
You what?
I invited TJ to sit in on our class. Well, I think she's a really smart and sensitive girl who's just gotten some bad breaks. And I think she could get a lot out of seeing what a really good class is like.
Wait a minute, Mr. Moore, do you condone this?
Yeah, it's worth a try.
Okay, but you all have to promise to be nice to her.
We'll be very understanding, Sarah. I'm sure we all know what it's like to feel out of place. We'll make her feel welcome, loved, and nurtured.
Don't make her feel nauseous. Just be nice to her. Here she comes.
Hey, I'm TJ.
Hi, TJ.
What is this? An AA meeting?
Well, hi, TJ. Welcome to class. I'm glad you could come. Why don't you find a seat?
Sit over here.
TJ, is it true that the rats in the projects are as big as dogs?
Janice. Yeah, we call ours Spot.
Spot.
Well, it's very nice you can visit, TJ. Sarah has said so many nice things about you.
That's a nice coat you're wearing, TJ.
Stop it with the nice crap. I must be the first nasty person who's ever sat in here.
Hey, what am I, John Denver?
You ain't that hip.
TJ, you've got a wonderful mean streak that I find awfully attractive.
Like I care what a boob with bangs thinks.
Should take a seat, Dennis. No, I wouldn't push it.
Now it's probably time for me to start teaching. Eisenhower. You know, many people said that he was slightly more somnolent than Calvin Coolidge.
You know, Mr. Moore, there's this really delightful anecdote I heard somewhere when Dorothy Parker heard she was a famous writer. When Dorothy Parker heard that Coolidge had died, she said, "Oh, really? How can they tell?"
What's so funny?
Well, Coolidge was so quiet, so boring.
I get the joke, but I don't think it's funny. It's stupid.
Where do you get the right to call Dorothy Parker stupid?
I ain't calling Dorothy Parker stupid. I'm calling you stupid.
Mr. Moore, could we please get through 2 minutes of this class without her butting in?
Yeah.
Excuse me, when did butting in become this radical concept for this class? I mean, as long as we are slowed down for a moment, perhaps we could reflect on the words patronizing and rude.
So you want me to shut up, right?
No, I'm talking about them, too.
Yeah. Yeah, they're real smart here in the smart class. But let me tell you something. When somebody comes into the dummy class, we don't put them down for not being dumb enough. I gotta go.
Okay, back to Eisenhower. And tomorrow, we'll take a whimsical look at Lyndon Johnson, the playful and very public president who preferred to hold his press conferences in the bathroom. Don't forget those essays. We'll see you tomorrow.
See you. Bye, Mr. Moore.
Mr. Moore, I'm sorry. I mean about TJ. I'm sorry I pushed her off on you.
I think having her in class made for a couple of interesting moments. I mean, TJ is very smart. She's fearless, and she's honest. I mean, these are all things that it takes to make a great scholar. I'm not sure she wants to be one, but...
Yeah, well, doesn't matter now. It's like you said, some people you just can't help.
No, I never said that. I said, don't expect to save everyone. See, saving's kind of one way, but helping people's a two-way street. And making some real progress with her.
Mr. Moore, how can you say that after she ripped the class to shreds?
She came to class, didn't she?
Well, yeah.
Well, I think it'd be a shame to turn around and walk away now.
Mr. Moore, the way she acts, it just makes me furious.
Well, I'm sure some of the things you and the others do make her pretty angry, too.
Well, like what?
Oh, I don't know. I'm sure she'd be glad to tell you. Look, it seems to me maybe you've reached somebody here that nobody has paid attention to for maybe years. So I think you should keep doing it.
Oh, TJ, I've been looking for you. Yeah? Well, thanks for nothing, man. That action in your class today was a total disaster. You really know how to make a person feel like sludge.
Wait a minute. TJ, I thought it would be nice for you. You know, you were welcome to stay for the whole class.
Well, isn't that a dream come true? Sit in a nice clean desk with no dirty words carved in it. Everyone dressed like it was Easter Sunday. And a teacher who treats you better than your own mama. And an hour later, I get sent back to the real world. And that's the last I see of Disneyland.
But that's not the way I meant it to be. You know, you could be in a better class. You could be in IHP.
Yeah, and Dr. Samuels could be Mr. Universe.
Now, you may have the personality of a pit bull, but one thing you are is intelligent. And I thought I could help you do something with that.
Well, I'm sorry if I went about it all wrong. Okay. Well, I'm sorry if I made you feel like a mush-brained dweeb in front of your whole class. Wait a minute.
All right. Apology accepted. Friends?
I mean, what do you think she meant, Mr. Moore?
I think she wants you to ask her out.
Oh, I was afraid of that. I can't. I mean, we have a client-therapist relationship here that can't be violated by the intrusion of my obvious animal magnetism. And then, of course, there's the moral issue, the psychological implications, and furthermore, oh, God, Mr. Moore, I have to have the girl. Please tell me it's okay.
Don't ask me to do that. Now, you yourself just said it would be unfair to ask her out based on information you got in a session.
She started it. All right, Miss.
Morning. Hi. Kate, as soon as you're ready, we're going to dive headlong into 1963 when Lyndon Johnson... Excuse me. Hello? 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 I have a history class over here.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Moore. Peer counseling.
Uh-oh. Call security.
I thought I'd give you a second chance. So what you doing? Copying garbage off the board or garbage out of a book?
Actually, we're discussing the Johnson administration.
Oh, garbage out of Washington.
You know, actually, it was during the Johnson administration that a book was first published, The Fire Next Time. This book examined racism in a completely new way. And the author of the book, who had a great deal in common with another social commentator at the time, Tom Wolfe.
Bull.
I'm sorry?
I said bull. You want me to go to Dr. Samuel's office or straight home?
No, I want you to tell me why you think it's bull.
I just got kicked out of a class for saying bull.
You can say bull in here, but you have to be able to back it up.
Okay. It's like this. See, the dude you're talking about is James Baldwin, man. Except he ain't nothing like Tom Wolfe. Baldwin grew up poor in Harlem with 9 brothers and sisters and a stepdaddy who couldn't stand his guts. He made it on his own, worked loading boxcars. His mama was a maid, didn't have time to tell him to do his homework and don't be late for school and someday you can be a writer. I just know you can. Shoot, there's food on the table and everybody's sitting around it in one piece. You're doing all right. That's how it is. You know what I'm saying?
I do, TJ. I was pushing you, wasn't I?
You were giving me a Park Avenue answer to a 129th Street problem.
I'm sorry.
Forget it. You're all right. And for a teacher, you're all right, too. This is the first time I ever got to say more than 3 words in class.
Well, that's a damn shame. You got some good ideas.
Yeah, you know, I'm starting to dig this class. In here, you sit next to a computer. In my class, I sit next to a guy with a tattoo that says born to drool. These are my kind of people. Even the slob and the snob. Sign me up.
Well, it's a good idea, TJ, but it's not that easy. You got a lot to do before you can get into this class. You got to bring your grade level up.
Who says I can even do it?
I do.
Yeah? That's pretty fresh.
Well, you know, I bet there's some other people who'd be willing to help you.
We help TJ.
Why? Do you get some kind of extra credit for it?
No. Although it's not a bad idea.
Look, you do your part. They'll do theirs. I'll talk to Miss Mira and Dr. Samuels about your situation, okay?
You got a deal. Well, better get going.
What's your hurry? You can stick around till class is over, if it's okay with everybody else.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. And, TJ, I just gotta ask you this. Who does your hair?
Okay, back to Lyndon Johnson.
I just want you to know that my counseling session went great today and everything worked out.
I'm glad to hear it, Arvid. I guess you let her down easily, huh?
Yeah. You know, but I do think I had some influence on her.
Hey, Arv.
Hi, Dennis. What do you got?
This is my science project. The Blunden superconductive electromagnet. A magnet so powerful it could suck the fillings right out of your head.
Wow.
Want to see it work?
Yeah.
Watch this. Okay, I need something metal to test it against.
I haven't got anything. Hey, how about the door?
No, you don't want to close the door.
What's the matter?
Go ahead, Arvid. Open the door.
It's stuck.
It's not stuck. That's the magnet working.
Wow, that's a strong magnet. Dennis, you're gonna get an A.
How am I gonna get it out of my locker?
Well, we don't have time now, Dennis. We gotta get to class. Come on. Dennis, come on.
I can't.
Why not?
My belt buckle, Arvid.
Well, in several instances in the 1970s, the United States sent millions and millions of dollars in earthquake relief to Nicaragua, but most of it went directly into the private bank accounts of President Somoza.
Excuse me, Mr. Moore, is this material going to be on our midterms?
Alan, thousands of people lost their lives because of this man.
So it is going to be on our midterms.
Excuse me, Mr. Moore. I know how you hate to be interrupted, but I just want to warn you, Dr. Samuels is going to be interrupting in a minute with a guest.
You're interrupting me to warn me of an impending interruption. Who is the guest?
Wesley Winthrop.
Wesley Winthrop? I did. The guy that wrote the Scuttlebutt column? This is a good interruption.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Sir, we've only got 3 more days to review for our midterms.
That's right, Mr. This guy's not gonna stay long, is he?
This guy? Does anybody know who Wesley Winthrop is?
No.
No.
I can't believe it. I mean, he's only one of the major columnists and chroniclers and boulevardiers of the last 50 years. I mean, he ranks right up there with Walter Lippmann and Hayward Brune, George Seldes. I can't believe that no one here knows who he is.
Mr. Moore, who's the lead singer of Guns N' Roses?
Okay? Well, okay. Well, let me fill you in, okay? Because this is going to be a treat. Now, we're going to be talking to a man who's lived through the historical events that we've been studying. Wesley Winthrop is a friend to presidents and kings. I mean, this guy has traveled everywhere. You could find him on the front lines of every major international conflict since World War I.
I mean, didn't he also make a lot of the road pictures with Bing Crosby?
Look, Winthrop has a body of experiential knowledge that no one else possesses, so let's take advantage of the opportunity.
Okay, get him in, get him out, get it over with.
Excuse me, Mr. Moore. I have a surprise visitor. A man who needs no introduction.
Wesley Winthrop.
You must be Mr. Moore.
Charlie Moore. We're honored to have you here, sir.
Gang, Mr. Winthrop is here to...
I can speak for myself, Harold. You can go now.
You will invite them to your book launching party tomorrow night?
Yes. You are all invited to my book launching party tomorrow night. Happy, Harold? Goodbye.
Later, gang.
Well, Mr. Winthrop, I know everybody's anxious to ask you questions about your...
In my day, the teacher wore a suit. A dark suit with a tie that looked like a tie, not like the flag of some emerging nation. I suppose it all fits. Graffiti on the walls, lack of discipline. I can't believe this is my old school.
Oh, so this is your alma mater.
Quick, aren't you? Of course, this is the smart class, and none of us ever dared lounge in their desks like that. They sat up straight and paid attention.
Well, Mr. Winthrop, I'm sure the class is anxious to ask you some questions about your many adventures. I know I am. So... we were talking about South American dictators. The Somozas, the Duvaliers, Batista.
Batista, Havana. God, how I miss those casinos. Castro squeezed the life out of Cuba.
Well, of course, before Castro, Batista was sucking the blood out of Cuba.
Oh, Fulgencio Batista, 1940 to 1944, 1952 to 1959, right here.
Batista, the stenographer.
No.
You probably knew him personally, I bet. Huh?
See, I don't get my history from books. I lived it. I was there. I'll tell you who was a real funny dame, Madame Chiang Kai-shek. We were at a banquet in Shanghai, and she leaned over and said, Ni hao, ni jiao, shama, but Juan Perón was no friend of mine. He took $200 off me a gin. Cheating his people, well, that was par for the course down there, but cheating at cards, that's unforgivable. But that, Evita, oh, could she rumba?
Thank you very much, Mr. Winthrop. I'm sure we all learned a great deal. Right?
My pleasure, Charlie. It's been quite some time since I spoke to this kind of audience.
Yeah, captive.
In fact, time passed so quickly I didn't get a chance to tell my favorite John Foster Dulles story.
Oh, well, I'm sorry we've run out of time. I'd like to hear it.
Well, I'll be back tomorrow.
You could come back? That would be great.
As Doug MacArthur said, I shall return, to which I replied, you'd better. You're up $40. You're up $40.
Poker game. Gotta tell you, I'm a little disappointed.
Oh, come on, Mr. Moore. He's an egotistical bore.
Mr. Moore, he's worse than boring. He's wasting our time.
Hey, come on. He said some interesting things.
Mr. Moore, here's a guy lucky enough to meet every world leader of the century. Well, what can he tell us about them? I mean, Juan Perón's gin scores aren't going to be on our tests, are they?
Okay, I'll agree with you that a lot of what he said might be considered trivial. And I'll agree that he was often overbearing. Worst of all, he hated my tie. But that doesn't mean that we can't learn from him. But you don't have to think of him as an old fogey. You can think of him as an old and treasured book.
Yeah, Gone with the Windbag.
Oh, and then yesterday in science lab, Arvid accidentally set fire to my homework. I'm telling you, the guy is a walking disaster.
I think you're exaggerating, Dennis.
Hi, Dennis, how's it going? Good. You know, I was...
Arvid!
What?
You just erased my entire book report from the computer.
I did?
What is it, Arvid? You just want to kill me? Is that it? Look, here's a nice sharp pencil. Why don't you take it and stick it right in my neck?
Dennis, I'm sorry. It was an accident.
Are you sure, Arvid?
Of course I'm sure.
My therapist says there are no accidents. There's a psychological motivation for everything you do. You're obviously suppressing a subconscious hostility that manifests itself in these so-called accidents.
Me? Hostile toward Dennis? But he's my best friend. Why would I be hostile to him?
Yeah, why would Arvin hate me? Well, what about the time you used his rare coin collection to tip the pizza guy?
That was years ago. I've forgotten all about that.
Morning, everyone.
Mr. Moore, could we just drill for the test today?
Yeah. Well, if we have time, don't forget Mr. Winthrop is with us again.
Oh, goody.
I'm sure all of you are going to be particularly attentive today. Mr. Winthrop, the class is getting ready for a midterm exam in history, and what better way to study than having a chat with Mr. Winthrop, huh?
What do you kids want to know about today? Paris in the 20s, Berlin in the 30s, Potsdam, Yalta, you name it. I was there.
I'd like to hear your version of the Yalta Conference. I mean, did the West really buckle under to the Russians?
No, I've always wondered about this.
I was there with Winnie Churchill, FDR, Joe Stalin. Joe couldn't stand Winnie's cigars, and the more he coughed, the more Winnie puffed. It cracked me up.
Yeah, but what did they talk about?
What did they talk about? They talked about which one had the biggest office.
Excuse me, Mr. Winthrop, when was the conference?
When? Hell, it was near the end of the war. It must have been winter. It was so cold, I almost froze my rear off. The palaces are damn drafty.
Could you be more specific?
Yeah.
The palaces didn't have any heat.
The Yalta Conference, February 4th to the 11th, 1945.
Thank you.
Excuse me. History is more than just dates, you know. Try asking them about people. Truman? Trotsky? Mussolini?
Oh, there was a guy. Benito. He did an impersonation of Hitler that was hilarious. He took his comb, put it under his nose, and he had the walk down pat.
Was that about the time Mussolini invaded Ethiopia?
Yeah.
It was about the time I stole one of Benito's mistresses. He was furious. I took it to Spain while I was covering the Civil War with Hemingway.
But the invasion of Ethiopia was 1935. The Spanish Civil War didn't start until 1936.
Yeah.
1936, 35. What the hell is the difference? She was gorgeous.
Excuse me, Mr. Moore, but this is a history class, and the midterms have put us under a lot of pressure. We'd prefer to learn some facts, not listen to some cocktail party gossip.
Mr. Winthrop, I'd like to say that...
You needn't say anything. Youth has spoken. Unfortunately, its voice is loud, crass, and rude. Goodbye.
I agree with him.
Look, you have to admit, he doesn't have his facts straight.
Fact number one. Wesley Winthrop is 85 years old, and as far as I can determine, he has not wasted a single moment of his life. Now, fact number two, he has some incredibly rich memories crammed into his mind, so it doesn't really matter if he gets his dates mixed up. You can look those up anytime you want to. Fact number three, here's a man who's seen everything, he's done everything, he's been everywhere, he knows everyone, and yet late in his life, he chooses to come back to Fillmore High School. Now, doesn't anyone wonder why? I just hope that the next time you're faced with a similar situation, you'll try to learn something instead of trying to prove how smart you are. Excuse me, Mr. Winthrop come in here?
Wesley Winthrop? The man that just stormed into my office like a bat out of hell? He's in there calling a cab. What happened?
Well, let's just say he and the kids hated each other.
Well, now, what about the photos of him with the IHP at the book signing? And the Distinguished Alumnus Award.
What Distinguished Alumnus Award?
I thought of it this morning. I ordered a beautiful bronze plaque. Here, read it to me.
Ooh, your school here. Distinguished Alumnus Award presented to your name here.
Give me that. Call trophies or us.
Yes, thank you.
Hi.
You can skip your defense of your flock. I'm not interested.
Well, actually, I was going to apologize for them. I think they were more than a little rough on you.
You could teach them some civility.
I try. I was hoping you could be a little more understanding.
What's to understand? They're little snots.
Well, I mean their reasons for acting so tough. I know them, so when they behave like this, I see that they're insecure about something.
So?
Well, in your scuttlebutt column, you were pretty tough on everybody.
Everybody deserved it.
So what were you insecure about?
I was only insecure once in my life. I was having dinner with Hitler, and Ava Brown grabbed my knee.
Listen, you don't have to answer this. I'm simply curious. You've been everywhere. You've met everyone. After 60-some years, you choose to come back to Fillmore High School. Why?
That's an interesting question.
So what's the answer?
Unfinished business. When you get to be my age, you want to settle all your accounts. And I have. Except one.
Excuse me, your cab's here, Mr. Winthrop.
So, what is this unfinished piece of business?
None of your damn business.
Okay. Well, nice knowing you, Mr. Winthrop. It's been interesting.
Does that mean you're not coming to my book signing party?
Means I'm not sure I'm still welcome.
Of course you are. But don't expect a free copy. You'll have to plunk down $24.95 like everybody else. Thank you for coming, Ben.
Hi.
Oh, hi. It's not a bad turnout, huh?
Yeah.
Where's the photographer?
Oh, I was hoping to see some of the IHP kids here.
Please, we've done enough to upset Winthrop. I don't want this to turn into a rerun of Geraldo.
So, you decided to come.
Oh, well, you know me, Mr. Moore. I like anything that has to do with books.
And you know me, Mr. Moore. I like anything that has to do with Simone.
You sure that's why you decided to come?
Hi, Mr. Moore. We just happen to be in the neighborhood.
What a surprise, yeah. Great. I think you're in time to hear Mr. Winthrop read from his book.
Oh, great. We made it. Thanks.
And then there was the time you changed the date on my watch. I was the only kid in school that Saturday. Maybe Maria's right. Maybe I am still angry with you.
Go ahead, Arvid. Get it all out.
Maybe I will. Maybe I want to get back at you for all those years of practical jokes. The dribble glass, the kick me sign, the electric toilet seat. Oh, and the time you put a mousetrap in my pocket protector.
Are you finished?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Would you like to get off my foot?
Oh, sorry.
What are you hooligans doing here? Read the sign. This is a bookstore, not a bowling alley.
Mr. Winthrop, I'm sure we'd all love to hear you read from your book.
As my old friend Milton Friedman said, there is no such thing as a free lunch. Now that you've had your wine and cheese, you'll have to pay for it by listening to me. Here's one of my favorite passages. I was in Paris when Lindbergh landed. He could never stand missing one of my dinner parties. But my Marlin was 10 pounds heavier than Hemingway's. After that, Papa never sent me another Christmas card.
Excuse me. Can I say something?
You've said quite enough this morning, young man.
I know. I'm sorry, but I learned a lot since then. See, I went to the library and I read some of your old columns, and I was just wondering about the Yalta Conference.
What's the matter? Did I get a date wrong?
No. I was just really interested in that story about when you took the chicken soup up to Roosevelt. I mean, if he was really that sick, it's no wonder he couldn't negotiate a better treaty with Stalin.
Yes?
Well, that changed the face of Europe. And possibly contributed to the Cold War. It all makes a lot of sense now.
Well, thank you.
Mr. Winthrop, I just want to say we're sorry if we hurt your feelings.
Yeah, I guess we can be a little difficult to get along with sometimes. But then again, so can you.
Yes, Patton said the same thing about me.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to present this trophy to Wesley Winthrop, one of Fillmore High School's most distinguished graduates.
Well, as long as we're telling the truth is, I never did graduate from high school.
Great. There's $20 down the drain.
Here's a book, you owe me 5. You see, I left school when I was 15. I lied about my age and went off to fight in France, and I've been moving around ever since. I have packed 10 lifetimes into one. But I still regret that I never graduated high school. I know it's silly, but I've always felt insecure. You were right, Charlie. And I always felt a little like an imposter. I promised my mother I would go back and get my diploma, and I never got round to it. So I'm afraid I'm not able to accept this.
I'm sure with all of Dr. Samuel's connections down at Trophies R Us, you could get this changed to read Fillmore High School's most distinguished honorary graduate.
Nothing would give me more pleasure.
Congratulations, sir. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, Mr. Winthrop.
Listen, it has been interesting. I wanted to tell you, you're welcome to come back to my class anytime.
Thank you. Just one thing.
Sure, what?
Burn that tie.
Listen, you want to get some coffee?
Yeah.
Huh. I'm really quite curious. How did you go about stealing Mussolini's girlfriend?
It wasn't easy.
I'll bet. Was she Italian?
Was she ever?
Hey, Dennis, you finally got your locker open, huh?
Yep. And now I'm gonna get Arvid back once and for all.
Aw, don't start up again. Haven't you learned your lesson yet?
Just one more. I'm gonna crazy glue his locker shut.
Dennis, listen, I just want to tell you that I'm sorry for everything that's happened the past few days. I take full responsibility for all my actions.
Really?
Yeah, listen, we've been friends for so long. I just hope there's no hard feelings.
You're right. Hey, what do you say we start over fresh, huh?
Hey, can I buy you lunch?
Well, I think we better go to the nurse's office.
How come?
Well, I just crazy glued our hands together.
What?
It was an accident.
Hey, guys. It's great to see you finally make up.
Make up! I hate you!
Just start walking into it.
This way.
I know.
Over there. Come on. Oh, Dennis.